Hey, I am here with the Mini Jam 69, the Mini Jam 70 with the theme of heaven, not hell, and the limitation of the main player or the player has to control an inanimate object. And I am here with Heaven's Dice. And I have solved this first puzzle already because I started recording and I realized my audio wasn't working, so. But I'm here just giving my. Oh god, I'm gonna struggle solving this, aren't I? No, not again. But I'm here with the just giving my thoughts, feedback, first impressions, all that. Oh god. Okay, so there's that. I need to go. Boop boop boop. Ayo. So immediately, it's a puzzle game that looks amazing. By the way, like I never want to do personally. I never want like I'm so intimidated of 3D because I just find it so hard to make look good, especially in like a jam time period. But man, just nailed it. And I immediately want to give props for like the character movement. Like it's really simple and grid based and all that, but that's there's a slight sound effect that goes with it that makes it just really satisfying to move, which is fantastic. And the animation is smooth. The inputs feel really responsive. Although if I go really fast, it feels like it's not supposed to go this fast. Because if I like tap back and forth really fast, I seem to just go charging, but makes sense. It's a puzzle game. You're not supposed to go fast, so it's not like it's a major thing. I don't know what this. Oh, I can't rotate into it. Also, holy shit, this fire effect. 3 days. This was a 3 day jam. I don't work in 3D, so making something that looks this good in 3D would be like a few months. A one. So let me get one lined up. Where's one? Oh, actually, wait. Oh. So I can't, like, do the same strat of just line it up. Yeah. I can't do the same strat of, like, lining the face that I need towards me and then, like, going in. I need to, like, be smart about it now. Is this good enough? No. I can't go sideways here. It's very clear where I can and cannot go. It's kind of like it's all on the same level where I can move, which is good. Once I like try to move on to one of these things, like one of these similar colored areas once, I'll get the message for the rest of the game. So how many, so where do I need the one face? Oh, I think this is good, right? Because then I go, hey, I was about to have to think about it or like do the math. Man, I like this ambient wind. Oh, I can't jump off. Oh, gotcha. Okay, let's see. Okay, so there's like a very rigid path into here. So it's kind of hard to manipulate my number when I'm over here. So I kind of need to like go in. Do I even need to get that? Maybe. It's a little less clear where is and isn't a spot I can move in this area, but just because there's no clear ground like the previous area, you can know exactly where. How many am I off? So there's where's four? Oh, is it on my side? I went in incorrectly? Okay. Let's go see if I have four lined up correctly here. Did I do this exact same thing? Oh my god, yeah, four is literally right there. So where's... Is there like a spot I can kind of maneuver myself? Not really. So I think I have to go in at like the right angle. So let's see, it's... Once I go in, which is here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 turns. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm not gonna think too much about it. I think I might be able to trial and error it. So if I go in with the 4 on the right side, it gets put incorrectly. So I need to make sure that the 4 is kind of like on the side of the block when I go in, so like that. So 4 should be at least oriented right. Yeah, there it is. Did I get it? Oh, I'm 1 off. Oh, if only I remembered where I was. If I remembered where I was, I could like... Is this it? Did I get? Boop, boop. I'm 1 off again. Let's see. There's a possibility that worked. No, it didn't. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm very far from that working. Okay, okay. Huh. This is kind of hard. Man, I don't really have much feedback or criticism to give because this is just really good. This puzzle is definitely really hard, but... Well, let's see. So how many times do I go right? It's 1, 2, 3... Well, I know that I need to be facing incorrectly. Or like the 4 has to be kind of an outward face like this when I go in. I guess I'll try this. How many? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So like 18. So in 18 moves. Oh, I'm bad at math. This isn't really a puzzle per se. This is more so... Well, I guess it is. It's just I need to know what face I need to start on. Well, how many faces was I off? I guess is the better question. So I'm 1 too early? Because here... Oh, it's actually kind of hard to say. If I just do this... I'm 2 off. Too late. So going like... This should bring me back to where I was, right? Yeah. And this is 1 off, and doing this makes me 2 off. So now I'm 5 off. Does this make me on spot? If this works, I don't know how. Oh, I'm 1 off. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so I'm 1 off here. I need to be 0 off. Or 6 off, I guess. So I was 1 off that way. So now I'm... Well, I was 1 early, now I'm 2 late. So now that I'm 2 late, that means I went like 3 up. Which means doing this is a 3 up, which means... Yeah, so this rotates between... All 3 of these are wrong. This is just reversing it. What if I do this? Well, then I have 3. So 3, 5, and... So I need 6, I think, face up here. I need to be on 6, and I need 4 to... try this. You know what? Might as well. Man, I feel like I'm mostly trial and erroring this. Oh wait, I'm on a 2. That might be correct. I don't think I've tried 2. Hey, it was 2. Man, that's pretty spicy though. Kind of pretty challenging. And I feel like I kind of trial and errored it, so that's fine. But like, how do I get over there now? Wait a minute. Man, it's just really satisfying to move this dice. It's nice that there's a sound effect to indicate instantly that, like, yeah, you got it. Did I miss something? Because I felt like there was more stuff over here. Would be nice to get, like, a little bit of a... Oh, this opened. Okay, that's good. It's really short. That's understandable. 3 days is not a lot of time. I guess that kind of makes up for the final puzzle being really hard. Well, it was pretty trial and error-y. I liked this one, though, because it was kind of like... On this first puzzle, I kind of learned that, oh, if I need to get my... I don't know what this cube is. If I need to get, like, 5 here, all I have to do is, like, rotate until I have 5, put it that way, and then I can move it, and then I'm, like, ready to drop anywhere. And the second puzzle immediately challenges that and says, nope, now you have to count. Then the third puzzle is, like, just a lot of counting. But this was pretty neat. Very simple mechanic, but honestly, that's all you need. Visuals, fantastic. Like, literally 0 complaints on the visual end. Everything's pretty clear. Like, there was like, I think the biggest thing I think I would say is the visual wise, actually. I guess I do have like a minor critique. Is that with these trees up here, it's a little hard to know exactly where I can and cannot move. Like up here, there's certain places. Like here doesn't. I think it might be easy to miss that there's like a space, like a little space here for manipulating, and you might think there's space like around here to manipulate when it's a linear path. And I think the puzzle here was interesting. I'm just dumb and didn't like. Wasn't able to wrap my head around the math. I just trialed and errored it, but you know that can happen with puzzles. I think you did like. You kept things visually interesting too, like by kind of progressing the visuals of the level as you go on. Let me kind of go all the way back to kind of explain what I mean. So in this first area, it's all white. You come over here, you get a glimpse of like a warmer area. And when you unlock the next area, it's like green and yellow. It's like a different color palette almost. Come over here, you have way more green, you have blue. Like there's a lot of visual interest that just like keeps you wanting to go forward. And then you get here and it's all green. Like I think if the entire game was all white, like marble looking ground, it might get boring. Or if it was all pools of water with trees, or if it was all forest, it would get like... Obviously with a game jam, people aren't going to play long enough for that sort of thing to get like really boring, but I think it's just a really, really great... It's a really great example of what you can visually do in a game jam. Again, very short. It's 3 puzzles, and they're pretty simple puzzles. Man, that fire effect is really good. Moving feels satisfying. I could almost see like a lot of consideration behind whether or not to add music or not. I think like a victory, because there's like there's the door opening sound when you finish a puzzle, but there could have been like, obviously Game Jam, there's not time for this, but like a little jingle of, I don't know if like, oh yeah, wow, it plays it every time. Well, that's nice. But Man, moving this is satisfying. And this is just so visually good. And it just feels good. The movement feels so good because of the because of that one sound effect. Like adding it, sometimes the feel of your game can be like carried by a single thing. Especially in jam games where you don't have too much to work with because everything has to be like your time has to be rationed out pretty tightly. But in this case, it's like this one sound effect for the rotate just makes it feel so good. Like I can move this dude around for a while. I think these pillars gave me the wrong impression. They look nice, but they kind of made me think there was going to be more here. Uh, like I kind of saw those and I was like, "Ooh, I wonder what's in there," but there was nothing. You can't get over there, which made it a little confusing when I heard the click and the door was all the way back here. I assume that more so has to do with like a time the with the time restriction. You probably intended more stuff to be over there, and because I think that's what the description kind of implied that the dev didn't have like as much time as they might have wanted to like work on the gameplay. I think there was something about combat being in the game, which although I might have been looking at a different description, I don't know. But I think this works as like a pretty interesting puzzle mechanic. Well, I could see combat if it's like turn-based or like if it's like a classic roguelike turn-based where when you move they move. But man, the moving just feels so good. Super super polished. As for like little things that could have increased the polish because you can never like I mean I guess you might be able to point out to over polishing, but it's really hard to over polish. But something that would have been nice is like dust particles underneath the cube every time it rotates, just a small one. Maybe like a not like fireworks, but kind of like fireworks whenever you open a door the first time. Uh, for switches like this, it's kind of you notice it a lot in like random in just like random games, but like when you hit a switch and it plays a cutscene and it shows you where the thing that opened was, it wouldn't be too bad here, just because like this is really far away and not on the same path as what it opened. The other ones obviously don't need it because it's the same path, but I was able to intuit it all right just because there was only one closed door. But yeah, really really good entry. Definitely like my personal favorite so far, just because I love. It's a bit shallow of me, but like man, games that feel good just stick out so much more. Like I prefer shorter like when it comes to playing game jam games because I've played a lot so far, just in over my time doing game jams. But something that always sticks out is I'd rather play something that is short and polished than something that's long and like unpolished. Like of course there's a lot of little polish that could go into things, but this is like as polished as you need to be to feel good. For a puzzle game. Different genres can you like kind of need different polish. But for like a puzzle game, this is like all you need. A satisfying like responsive control that doesn't like get in the way, and a satisfying like move sound effect. It's all you need really to catch my heart. It's one of those things that it's like, man, when you're into a when you're playing a game jam game and your biggest complaint is, man, I wish there was more. Then you're doing good. If you plan to keep working on this, I know you mentioned combat. That could be interesting, but one way to like if you plan to go down a more puzzly route is this is kind of an obvious one that I imagine. I don't know, obvious, but you can have like a power up that makes a second dice appear, or like you enter a room and there's a second dice that moves with you. That could create for like interesting puzzles, and you have to like get both of them to line up. A bit of a generic one, but it's fun. I haven't been playing very many puzzle games recently, so this was a nice change of pace. And man, this is a personal thing, but I love like very desaturated things. Like none of the colors here are super bright. You have like white, and then you have kind of like a really saturated yellow here. The green is the brightest. Is the brightest color. The water is like super desaturated. Not super desaturated, but it's like a really light tone. It's not desaturated. It's just a light tone, but it's soft. I guess I should be saying desaturated. I love soft colors, and the color choice is really soft, and the soft colors make the vibrant green stand out more. I would say out of all the puzzle areas, this is probably my least favorite, just because it is so vibrant. Although it makes the dice stand out, so it's not like bad. It's just a personal preference thing with that one. There isn't much color difference here. I guess that's kind of the good thing about these pillars. They kind of create that though. Yeah, man. Visually stunning game. Biggest complaint is that there's not enough of it, but 3 days is like you have to prioritize with 3 days. You have obviously visuals were a priority here, and it shows. And honestly, I think it pays off really well. The small details that make everything feel nice. The clicking when you solve the puzzle, I think, is like really smart. Also, there we go. I hope that's getting picked up by the audio. But yeah. The lighting is, I think this was made in Unity, if I remember what I saw in the files correctly, and Unity lighting, the defaults are kind of meh. But the lighting here looks really good. And nothing about the visuals. So something with like visually good games, that you never want the visuals to take away from the gameplay or what you're doing. This doesn't do that at all. This is just super, everything's clear, you know what you're doing. Never once did the visuals get in the way of anything, and it looks amazing. So I could keep, and I guess that's all I really have to say. Fantastic work. Wish there was more. But yeah. Cheers.